What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. Today we're going to be doing a Walking Dead video talking about Rick Grimes. So, I kind of try to stay away from the whole Rick Grimes thing for a while. I've been talking about the TV series, I've been talking about the comics, I've been trying to I feel like distract myself because every time I think about Rick, I immediately think it's like, well, it's still gonna be like another year before the movie comes out. So it's like it's not like it's coming out anytime soon. So that's why I haven't talked about Rick very much. It's kind of just what it is until we get something for this movie. But I am, this video is dedicated specifically to Rick Grimes, and I honestly do think that I should do a Rick Grimes character spotlight soon because, I feel like, he deserves a character spotlight on this channel. I did one, like, a few years ago, and honestly, I want to do another one. I want to do an updated, Rick Grimes character spotlight. Yeah, because from what I remember, I don't think I did one, after he left Walking Dead. I could be wrong, but I don't think I did. So, and speaking of character spotlights, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a Alicia character spotlight from, Fear the Walking Dead. Which was suggested by Epic Zombie Killer 2, by the way. So, really cool stuff. I actually have a day off of school today. Another snow day. Crazy stuff. Here in Canada, we have snow day after snow day after snow day. So, cool. But, I wanted to do this video. This one, I'm going to talk about Rick Grimes. And what if he was still in the TV series? What would his role be now? Let's talk about it, because I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people miss Rick Grimes. I mean, I do. He's my favorite character in television overall. Everybody knows that. I love this figure here, because I put it in the middle for the videos and stuff. But I wish they would make, like, a Rick Grimes 10-inch figure, but, like, have, like, him in a sheriff outfit or whatever from Season 1 and have, like, the hat. I think that would be, like, the coolest statue ever. Yeah, I really think they need to do that, like, just some company or something, because I really want to have, like, a Sheriff Rick right there. I think that would be really cool. So, because that's how it started, So, Rick Grimes in the comics. So, let's discuss the comics a little bit. Spoiler warning if you have not read the comics, but I'm not going to go into too many spoilers. Rick Grimes in the comic, I'll just say, is probably, not as important as he was in, All Out War in the comic, or in, the Savior storyline in the comic, or Fear the Hunters in the comic, or the prison storyline in the comic. Even the beginning, Rick in the comic right now is a very, he takes a very big backseat role in the series. In the comics right now, the main characters right now, yeah, you do have Rick, but the ones that are at the forefront right now would be like Michonne, Maggie, Jesus, Aaron, even Princess right now is getting a lot of time, and tons of people from the Commonwealth, Carl, Sophia, Lydia. Like, we really don't see much of Rick anymore in the comic. So, if Rick Grimes, if Andrew Lincoln did stick around for a few more years for the television series, really, really sad that he didn't. Mainly what we would see is Rick be in probably about half, or a little over half, but probably only half of the episodes a season, and he would probably only be in a few scenes, because Rick in the comic, Negan, okay, so this is something that didn't happen in the TV series. At the end of All Out War in the comic, Negan broke Rick's leg. And, Rick had to use a cane. And we kind of saw a little bit of this in the Rick, Carl's dream sequence that he had of how things could have been. Rick had a cane and stuff. That's a lot how it is in the comic. Rick has a cane. He's a lot older. And, things are very different. And he is the leader of Alexandria, but we don't focus much on Rick. He kind of, he's older. He can't really go out there and fight anymore. It's just not, realistic. He's gone through so much. And his, he's got one hand in the comic. He's really not in the position to fight anymore. So he kind of takes a backseat role. And Rick's son, Carl, of course, takes over as one of the main characters in the comic, I would say. But the problem is that Chandler Riggs isn't there because of the stupid decision they made last season, and now they have Henry, which is nowhere as good as the comic version of Carl. But it's the best they can do. So, we're seeing in the TV series, even if Rick was there, even if Rick was in the series, I would still think that the main characters, the one that would get the most time, would be like characters like Daryl, Carol, Michonne, Henry, Maggie, if she was around, Jesus, like they would get the most time. But because so many of them are killed off and Rick is gone, that's why people are so worried about the TV series, because we don't have many characters left. But if Rick Grimes, if at least Rick was there, even Jesus dead, Maggie dead, or not Maggie dead, but, gone, you guys know what I mean. Rick would still not be the most forefront character. I feel like the show would still be where it is right now. Just, if Rick was there, it'd be one extra character. Because, yes, Rick would be there and he would have lines and he would have dialogue with characters and he'd be in around Alexandria leading the place. But, mainly the ones that we would be focusing on are the ones that are actually in the show right now. Like Henry, Daryl, Michonne, Carol. We would see them still at the forefront. So, to answer the question, what if Rick was still in the TV series right now? Would he be the one that they would focus on the most? The answer is no, I don't think. Just like the comic, I feel like they would have Rick take a backseat role, have Daryl, have Michonne, have Carol at the front, and have Rick be a character that's still there because everybody loves Rick, but he wouldn't be as important, like I said, as, like in the Savior storyline, in All Out War, or in the, Hunter storyline, or in the prison storyline. He wouldn't be as important, as he was there. He is, more older and, that kind of deal. So, that's really my thoughts on it. If Rick was still in the TV series, I mean, it would make it better, I think, but I still don't think that it would change the fact that Daryl's getting all this time, Michonne's getting all this time, and Carol's getting all this time. I still feel like they would get a lot of time, and Rick he would, but he wouldn't be there all the time. So, that's just my thoughts on it. But write your comments below. Do you think differently? Do you think maybe they would use Rick a lot for the TV series version? It would be different from the comics? I think that after a while, especially if they still did the 6-year time skip, even if Rick was there, I feel like he would be a lot older, and he would be there, but he wouldn't be, fighting or meeting Alpha like that, or I just don't think they would do that. But it would be a lot nicer to see Rick in the TV series. I get that, okay, but I'm just saying that's what the TV series, that's what they would do most likely. So, really cool stuff, because that's what they did in the comics, really. So, write your comments in that comment section below. What would what kind of role do you think Rick would play if he was still in the show? Do you think he would play a backseat role type of thing, and he wouldn't be in the show as much? He would still be there, but not, a big time, fighter or anything like that. Or do you think maybe that it's the opposite, and you think maybe Rick would still, be fighting and, meeting up with Alpha and stuff? Because I do think he would meet up with Alpha like he did in the comic, but what I mean by that is that I don't think he would be, in the forefront all the time. So, just like they did in the comics, because, there's other characters and they want to focus, on them too, So, really cool stuff, and Robert Kirkman always said, the show is bigger than Rick. The show is bigger than Rick. The comic is bigger than Rick. So, I mean, that's, that's something right there you have to also consider as well. So, just my thoughts on it. Write your comments, though. I want to hear it, and thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.